Oh, hello friends. I have been hanging out in here because, well, it's 80 degrees. So much like true Arkansas fashion. The last vlog, it was what, in the 20s, and Nathan and I were freezing our heinies off. And today it is 70 degrees. And it's like later in the afternoon. It's like 4 o'clock right now. So the sun's starting to go down. But the tunnel, or the greenhouse, I guess I am in a greenhouse, is 80. And so I have been outside. I found myself just like walking outside aimlessly, not really doing anything, but it felt so good. I just wanted to be outside because I'm that person. And Nathan called me earlier on his lunch break and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just sitting in the greenhouse." And he was like, "Oh, are you like, you know, working on something?" I was like, "No, I'm just sitting and enjoying the heat." And I realized how incredibly ridiculous I am. Oh man, but I hope you guys are having a great week. I thought we would actually harvest some cabbage today and throw it in the freeze dryer, or at least prep it for Nathan to put in the freeze dryer so he can do content around that. Also, a little something else I'm gonna let you guys in on. That may in fact be the last time you guys see me walk through that pink garden gate. We have loved transitioning into Jess and Maya's farm, and so much of our farm now is still their farm in a lot of different ways. But we've changed some things. We've added our own personal touches over the last few months. And the garden gate is one of those things that we are going to be painting the garden gate. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys enough time to prepare. Those of you who are really attached to that pink to the pink door, I'm going to let you process for a few days. And then I'm trying to get a friend of mine who is an artist to come and work on something special. I don't know what her time schedule looks like, and so that'll be a fun little project. I have a color in my mind for the door, and I think the pink door was lovely and represented Jess really well. However, I don't feel like the pink door represents me, and so I'm wanting to spray paint. It also just needs like a new coat of paint. It's like chipping, and you know, you can see the black coming through, so it just needed a new coat anyways, and I just decided to pick another color. So stay tuned if you want to weigh in on that, what color it should be. I'm happy to hear suggestions. But, alright, I guess I'm going to close up this greenhouse. Thanks for keeping me toasty today, little lady. We'll go into the garden. Don't worry, no one's actually hurt. They're just chasing each other. Playing. Oh, they're chasing each other down this slide. That's actually pretty sweet. So most of the cabbage down here got pretty beat up with the frost and just had really, really bad pest problems. We didn't really deal with any issues in the high tunnel with caterpillars after I did that initial 2 weeks of spraying the BT on it. But out here, I've really started to struggle with that towards the end. So a lot of this cabbage kind of looks like just not good anymore. So I'm going to inspect it, what's not good. I'm going to feed to the pigs and then feed to the chickens. Alright, I left my harvesting knife inside, so yeah, you guys can see all the little holes. That's what happens when you have little, oh yeah, there's a bunch of caterpillar poop. I actually think this one's pretty salvageable. Once I take off these outer layers, you can see here too, like it got frost damage, but underneath that, y'all see, that's a good cabbage still. So, oh yeah, look at that. Yes, okay. This one is certainly gonna be fine. All right, so what I'm gonna do for Nathan is I'm gonna take these inside and I'm just gonna like shred them, much like I would if I was making sauerkraut. and then he is going to line those Harvest Right trays with them. What he does from there, I'm not really sure, but I did tell him I would kind of help with his prep work, just take a step off of him, that way he didn't have to do it. So, one down, I needed a basket. Y'all, did you just hear my phone randomly start playing music? Alright, I'm gonna try to stick all these in my hand and see. Maybe you guys can take a guess. These are pretty small. So I'm not like betting that they're gonna weigh a ton or anything. But they probably have a decent amount, if I had to guess. Oh yeah, and then I've got 2 more about this size, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna need to find a basket to put these in. Take them up to the house, we can weigh them. I have a couple more over here I was gonna check out and see what they looked like. Man, it was such a beautiful day. I didn't really realize how much I needed the sunshine until I came out here. All right, so I have these over here. They look really bad, so I'm gonna toss them over to the chicken. All right, let's go. Hi, June! What you doing, sis? Come here.
Let's go inside.
Charlie went inside. Okay.
Get honey.
She went to get honey. Why?
Let's get it. I don't want to sit.
You want to sit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sit.
All right, Abby June, you gonna say hi to everybody? All right, tell.
Hey,
Look, you're gonna talk right here, and they're gonna see you.
Hi.
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 Say, hope you're having a good day.
No, baby.
Oh, don't touch.
Right, and turn off.
What?
Turn off.
No, I'm not gonna turn off. You're gonna tell all your friends to have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Mommy's gotta go throw stuff to the chickens.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm going down.
Oh, you wanna go down? Okay. All right. Taking this. Oh my word. That is certainly not what I was expecting to find. This is just one of those 4x4 beds. I guess one of the chickens is hopping over the fence and laying a little nest. No wonder we haven't had any stinking eggs. Hey, Simba. Which one of you chickens is it? Bye. Well, that's it. Hey, chickies. Well, that was certainly not what I was expecting to see in the garden. If you guys remember, though, we had one a while back in the fall, I guess, keep her eggs over here and ended up hatching out a bunch of babies. Now, we had some people tell us to put her in a brooder and try to catch the babies because it was starting to get cold. We had some people tell us don't mess with Mother Nature, she'll know what to do. I will tell you, we got her and the chicks, put a heat lamp in the chicken coop, and she ended up killing most of them. So we definitely learned our lesson that she would know what to do, and in that case we should have let her just like do it. So I'm not sure what Nathan's gonna want me to do with that, if we're gonna want her to just continue. I guess she's not sitting on them. She's just coming over here and laying them, so gosh, who knows? We might have some little chicks, which we would welcome that. We haven't looked into any chicks for the spring. I wouldn't also mind having some of these before we no longer have the rooster anymore. But that's funny. Had I not took those cabbage out though and walked by there, I would have never known that chicken, I have no idea what chicken it is, but I would have never known that She was sitting there hiding eggs, making a little nest in the garden. That can certainly not be something that continues to happen, especially when we, you know, have this thing fully planted. But my goodness, I swear, life on a farm stuff is always happening, ain't that right? I feel like I need to be inspecting all the other beds and seeing if there's any more like random nests being hidden by other pesky chickens. What in the world? I mean, there is, let's see. Let me see how many of these there are. So there are 16 eggs. That's how many eggs are over there. That's insane. That is so incredibly insane. All right, let's run inside, get a basket, start collecting some cabbage. All right, let me grab a knife real quick. Hey, I don't think it would be fair if I weighed these with this big wonkin' root system on there. So I'm gonna chop that off and we'll get our scale out. All right. I think I got one more. All right, now we get to weigh them. This is so exciting. Also, I happened to go to our P.O. box the other day and I was really behind, if I'm being honest, but I just want to take a minute and say thank you so much. There were so many gifts and letters, and knowing that you guys take time out of your lives to pour into us and bless us like that really does mean so much to me and Nathan and just our family. Our girls love seeing all the happy mail that we get and they help us open them, and it's so sweet that you guys just love us like that. So thank you. With that, we got this really awesome scale that I wanted, but it didn't come, like I don't know who got it for me. So if you happen to have purchased me this and you're watching this video, thank you. I would have sent you a thank you, but I never got a note with it. All right, so let's weigh these. I just got it all put in my phone in a note, so I'm gonna grab that real quick and then we'll start weighing these out. All right, so I have it in pounds right now. Go to my cabbage note. You guys can see it literally just says cabbage harvest, and I have it all written down here. So ignore the pig scraps. We'll start weighing. All right, so these are much smaller, and I knew they would be. So that says, what, 3 pounds, 12 ounces. Let's see. 3.12. Take that guy off. We're gonna clear it. All right, next one. We've got 3 pounds, 10 and a half. So we'll just do 3 pounds, 10 ounces. You guys can see here though, I've got quite a few cabbages that I harvested, so that's awesome. I'm taking a running tally. I think I might have mentioned that to you guys. I want to see how much actually I yielded. All right, so my plan is that I don't really have a plan. Pretty much. I'm not actually sure how this works as far as like what Nathan's gonna be doing with it in the freeze dryer. So my plan is to cut these heads into smaller heads and then kind of grate them. And that is just based off of like conversations him and I have had. So I went ahead and washed these really good. We got them weighed. Now I'm just gonna cut them down pretty good. I do go through, so like when we made, that's actually frozen. The inside of that's frozen. That is wild. So when we made sauerkraut, we kind of cut this core out, and so I am gonna go ahead and do that. So this is what we fermented all of our carrots in. I think I told you guys that we did that on New Year's, And so they were ready. We transferred them into big gallon jars in our refrigerator. We actually eat those a lot. And so I'm gonna just take this and fill this bucket up, and when it gets filled, I'll kind of just wait until Nathan gets home to see if he needs more or not. You guys know the freeze dryer is something that's new. This will be the first thing that we're actually doing with it, so it's kind of a trial and error here on how it's gonna do. I think oftentimes the thing that gets missed when you're growing a lot of food, a lot of times we can get caught up in, you know, the seed catalog, and it's easy to want to order everything. I have been guilty of that in my past as well, but a lot of it is really one, thinking through space, like where are you gonna actually grow all this stuff, but then a large chunk of it, in my opinion, is thinking through preserving, like how are you gonna preserve these things, how much time is each of these things going to take for you to preserve. I think that's like a really safe thing, and probably a good assessment to ask yourself. And that was one of the things we knew, you know, everything we were growing in the tunnel this year, we knew that we could easily preserve it, and so we weren't super concerned. But if I was having to do a ton of canning, and even just like the ferments, like we got all that done in a day, but that was still an entire day that we had to dedicate to it. Obviously, I think it's worth it to grow your own food and preserve it, but while everyone is, you know, cozied up with their seed catalogs right now, I would encourage you to think through what the preservation process looks like. That are you wanting to are you wanting to can them? Do you have a pressure canner? Are you wanting to freeze them? Do you have a vacuum sealer? And just making sure you have some of those things in place, and knowing it's not just about growing it, it's about having the time and the resources to preserve it as well. And so I think that that's probably a really important thing to ask yourself. It's certainly something I'm asking myself, what kind of time commitment I have to put up produce this summer, and that is going to be very dependent on the varieties that we grow and how we choose to preserve our food. All right, friends, I have got quite a bit more chopping and shredding to do, but thanks for hanging out with me on this sunny and 70-degree day in Arkansas, almost in February. What the heck? It was so funny, the last vlog, I was seriously just telling you guys, you know, you never know about Arkansas. Usually now is when weather starts getting bad, and here we are, and it's 70 degrees today. I'm certainly not complaining. My little heart needed some sunshine today, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you soon.